Hello and welcome to Darkness Descending presents the North American Amateur Starcraft League. Season 1, week number 6, game number 1 between Zerg player Devilsadvice, who's in the far right purple, and Protoss player Kotaoncue, who is in the far left. This is Lost Temple, is the first map pick for the season, or for this week. I'm not really particularly sure if it's a real bonus to any one to either race in this for this matchup. I've found I've had good and bad results with this, mostly because you do have that nice do have the ramp, you do have that nice overhang that gives you ability to get pot shots on people who are moving up against you. So it's overall your Lost Temple, of course, is probably the most famous standard StarCraft 1 map, and it looks like both players are off to a pretty good start. I believe Coda went with a 9 probed pylon. Devilsadvice is looking to get maybe a 14 or 15 drone to either spawning pool or even maybe just go straight to the fast expand. Who knows? Recently I've been seeing more Zergs going with the get your drones up, put down the spawning pool, and then put the fast expand up later, simply because it makes it a little bit easier to defend, but it doesn't really hamper your production or your economy early game. So anyway, Kotaoncue looks like he's so far looks like he's going for your standard warp gate tech. So he's got his scout in there. He gets to see that there is no gas, so this is clearly not a roach rush. This is some sort of fast expand. Not that Protoss can really do much about that unless you get early cannons, or if you just happen to be so inclined to be proxy piloting, proxy gatewaying, but that's just very unlikely. In that new patch, they're apparently going to expand this so you can no longer do the 2 pylon block, which is probably it's fair, but certainly not anything I'm looking forward to. So Kota looks like he's going for his double gas, so maybe we're going to see blink stalkers, or maybe a fast tech to Dark Templar or something of that nature. Or even air units, so it's pretty up in the air for him at the moment. Devilsadvice makes those 2 Zerglings for scouting and just initial base defense, mostly against probes. It is important to, of course, get that probe out of your base as soon as you can for a Zerg, so that you can have that hidden tech. So Kota is already researching his warp gate. And it looks like we'll probably be seeing blink stalkers here. Get that sped up warp gate. And here comes the second hatchery. Now Devilsadvice is going for mostly drones. So early game he's kind of a little put himself in a place of possibly being rushed relatively early, especially with that warp gate coming out pretty quick. If Kota were to drop a pylon over here, say, and he gets a couple more gateways out, he could really just start pumping out those units, and there wouldn't be too much that Devilsadvice would be able to do at this point, because he really doesn't have the units to defend with. But it looks like he is going to be dropping some spine crawlers. These are actually very good against stalkers. They get the bonus damage versus armored. And not a terrible idea either. I mean, Zerg game is really about if you can survive to the mid-late game, especially against Protoss, you're usually in pretty good shape. Alright, so we got our roach den out. Spine crawlers are completing. Blink Tech is on its way. Kota is setting up shop close to the entrance. So now we're seeing that probe coming out here with that forward pylon that makes it easy to reinforce yourself. This is actually a really nice thing to do, which is put the pylon on the edge so that you can drop stalkers and the other units on the other side of the edge so they don't have that long run. It doesn't seem like much, but it does make a difference in time. So Kota looking to get to go say hello with 4 stalkers. He's not going to be able to take this, but he will be able to do a little bit of damage. See that blink away. He is able to blink away with the rest of them, taking a lot of damage, but not taking a loss, and that's important. Is especially with blink stalkers, they're so expensive. You know, when you pair them up with the Zerglings, and obviously Zerg production is just simply better than Protoss production. So if you don't get that done, or if you start losing your stalkers early, then you're going to get behind, and you are pretty much all over. One thing it is important to note that I do see about Devil's Advice that he really should be taking advantage of is that spawn creep tumor. Oh, here we got another fight. So here we go. Kotaoncue's pushing ahead again. Didn't really do too much, just saying hello. And here we go, another big push. You see how big every single time one gets below the shields, it blinks it back. So essentially, when hopefully they'll survive, and then the next fight they'll be back up to at least full shields. If not, you know, obviously their life is going to get repaired. But this is going to be a hard doorway to breach, because simply because those spine crawlers hit so very hard. The Zerglings now have the speed upgrade, so they're going to get to the stalkers almost immediately. Here it goes. So again, the speedlings just do so much damage to the stalkers. Even though, yes, blink stalkers are pretty good at taking down speedlings, they do take a lot of damage in the meantime, and if you get an overpowering number of speedlings, then it's pretty, again, an all-over situation. So we got those roaches out. Kota still running off just a 3-gate. He does have his expand up, so he's just keeping that pressure to keep Devil's Advice, you know, away from his own base, which is good. Which is a very good, strategy. You should, whenever possible, keep pressuring that Zerg so that they can't just do as they please. That's what really kills you again in a Zerg game. Here we go for another push, but Devil's Advice has a really large number of units at this point. And here's another thing to take a look at. This, the fact that he doesn't have those creep tumors out is really hurting him, because you know, stalkers go way faster than roaches when they're not on creep tumor, and because he doesn't have it out there, those Zerglings again are not going to catch up to them as fast, so it's just going to be a lot of death. Devil's Advice is getting quite a scary little army built up there. Let's see here. So Kota now has 2, 3, 4, 5 warp gates up. So he's just expanding his base production and is going back in, and once again using that blink stalker strategy of pushing them back as they get damaged. Devil's Advice has got burrow and move. So seeing as Kota right now doesn't have any see and visit at all, it would be really important for him to get that out, because what's going to happen here is Devil's Advice is just going to walk on past him and go say hello to his mineral line. And with so many spine crawlers here, and all honesty, probably too many spine crawlers there, usually Zerg does not need it that much. And we do see that creep tumor, which is so very important for Zerg. In fact, I would suggest to get that up a lot earlier. It just, because one, it gives you